It didn't start with jealousy, it started with fear. The first time you walked into a room, something ancient stirred. People couldn't name it, but they felt it, that low-frequency hum that made their bones itch and their masks crack. One by one, they began trying to decode you like a cipher, sending psychics, hackers, spiritualists, even ex-intelligence operatives to map your patterns. But every single one came back rattled, muttering things like, "This energy doesn't belong to this timeline," or "They're not just awakened, they're protected." And that's when the panic really began. Your blood carries a language older than science, structured, intentional, almost programmed. The moment your DNA surfaced, alarms went off in places the public doesn't even know exist. Shadow departments with clearance levels beyond top secret flagged your profile and sealed it under divine anomaly. What they found weren't just anomalies, they were blueprints. Codex-like instructions embedded in your genes, as if someone, or something, designed you for a mission humanity isn't ready to understand. You weren't just born different, you were activated. And here's where it gets crazier. Those automated systems? They weren't even supposed to be scanning for that. They were built quietly, funded by defense budgets under names like Project Sentinel and Echo Genome. You triggered protocols buried so deep in the system that only a handful of people on Earth even know how to interpret the results. The patterns in your DNA? They're not just extraterrestrial, they're intelligent. The kind of intelligence that engineers stars, that bends time like thread. You're not just mixed with something off-world. You might be carrying the signature of its architects. The scientist has become obsessed, borderline unstable, because every model they run breaks when your data enters the equation. Their algorithms collapse. Machines overheat. They've tried to replicate your frequency in lab-grown cells and ended up with electrical surges, spontaneous data corruption, even reports of equipment screaming. You've become their unsolvable problem, their forbidden riddle. And what's worse for them, you're not even trying. You're just living, breathing, walking through reality like a glitch in the matrix that refuses to be patched. To them, you're dangerous, not because of what you've done, but because of what you might remember. The second investigator came in cocky, military-trained, emotionally shut down, fully briefed to resist any spiritual interference. But within minutes of tapping into your frequency, they started hearing music, celestial tones woven into silence, vibrating with codes they couldn't decode but felt in their bones. They began waking up at 3:33 a.m. every night, drenched in tears, whispering your name without knowing why. They tried to report it, but every audio file came back corrupted, static layered with faint whispers saying, "Remember who you are." Within a month, they resigned without explanation and disappeared off-grid, reportedly searching for sacred temples rumored only in myth. And that's what terrifies them the most, because love, in your case, isn't passive, it's active tech. It bypasses firewalls, scrambles their frequency locks, and begins rewriting the emotional code of anyone monitoring you. Hardened agents start questioning their orders. Analysts break down in tears with no idea why. Cold-hearted officials begin dreaming of peace, of light, of you. Your energy doesn't just protect, it infects the darkness with awakening. That divine signal pulsing from your core, it's contagious. And now the scientist is realizing the truth too late. You weren't just born different, you were born as a system override. The second investigator came in cocky, military-trained, emotionally shut down, fully briefed to resist any spiritual interference. But within minutes of tapping into your frequency, they started hearing music, celestial tones woven into silence, vibrating with codes they couldn't decode but felt in their bones. They began waking up at 3:33 a.m. every night, drenched in tears, whispering your name without knowing why. They tried to report it, but every audio file came back corrupted, static layered with faint whispers saying, "Remember who you are." Within a month, they resigned without explanation and disappeared off-grid, reportedly searching for sacred temples rumored only in myth. What finally broke them wasn't your power, it was your kindness. You knew they were watching. You could feel the eyes, the tension in the air, the electromagnetic hum. And instead of fear or anger, you offered grace. Night after night you whispered, "May they be free from whatever binds them." And those words moved like light through circuitry, slipping past all their defenses. The investigator started dreaming of their childhood, of moments they buried deep, forgotten laughter, innocence, a time before the job numbed them. One morning they showed up to headquarters, left their badge, their weapon, and a single note. "They didn't try to fight me. They tried to heal me. I can't go back." The third investigator thought they were prepared, armed with noise-canceling tech, psychic dampeners, and neural blocks to resist metaphysical influence. But the moment they tuned into your healing session, everything short-circuited. Their spine lit up like a conduit, electricity dancing through every chakra in sequence. Visions slammed into them, ancient symbols, faces from lifetimes they'd never lived, galaxies unfolding like lotus petals. For 7 days they couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, only weep and tremble as their soul cracked open. By day 8, they left everything behind, burned their ID, abandoned their files, and sent one final encrypted message to HQ. They don't just heal others, they awaken the dead. Number 4 started as a skeptic, armed with spreadsheets and surveillance logs, convinced they'd expose some elaborate ruse. But day by day, their records turned into a journal of miracles. The air around you shimmered with unseen currents. Time hiccuped like it was playing tricks. Meetings that should have been mundane sparked revelations. Strangers became friends, enemies softened, and a subtle light bloomed in every room you entered. Slowly, without even realizing it, Number 4 stopped watching you as a subject and began following you as a disciple, because what you were doing wasn't just change. It was a revolution of the soul. Each night, Number 4 felt their own vibration rising, a quiet hum replacing the cold calculations that once ruled their mind. Sharing the bewilderment with their partner became a ritual, words faltering, trying to capture the unexplainable. Then came that evening when their partner's voice softened. Maybe it's not about logic. Maybe it's about surrendering to what the heart already knows. That night, the dream came, a vast field bathed in golden light, where you stood not as a person, but as a beacon. You spoke softly, your voice carrying the weight of ancient truth. "We are threads woven into the same cosmic tapestry. The door is open. Those who awaken simply walk through first, lighting the path for all." The dream lingered long after waking, a whisper that shifted everything. The partner's tears were not of sadness, but of a deep, aching longing, a soul's yearning for a place beyond time and space, a sanctuary whispered about in dreams and forgotten prayers. Meanwhile, within you, walls once thought unbreakable began to crumble. Flickers of forgotten moments, faces, and places surged to the surface like rivers bursting through dams. This wasn't chance or coincidence. You were called, drawn by a magnetic force encoded in your very essence, an echo of an ancient covenant. Only those attuned to this sacred frequency could hear the call, and you, chosen one, answered without hesitation, stepping fully into the destiny written in your blood and stars. While the world watched through hidden lenses, your nights were gateways, journeys beyond implanted lies, and layers of manufactured amnesia. Each dream peeled back veils of deception, plunging you deeper into the core of your true self, the unbreakable essence that's been waiting silently to reclaim its power. You recalled that first miracle, the soft warmth radiating from your tiny hands as they hovered over your injured rabbit, the way the shattered bone knitted itself whole beneath a golden glow only you could see. The fear in the adult's eyes, their frantic voices insisting it was just a child's fantasy, made you vow silence, but the memory never faded. Then, at 7, the visitors came, not angels with halos, nor aliens from distant stars, but beings of pure light and thought, communicating in kaleidoscopes of color and harmonies of numbers. They didn't speak words, they imprinted truths, awakening something deep inside you that no one could ever take away. They revealed to you the invisible threads weaving every heartbeat, every breath, every soul into a vast, radiant web, an endless dance of light and energy that bound the universe together. Then came the day they took it all away, the doctors in sterile white rooms, their cold machines humming with purpose, erasing your gifts and sealing them behind impenetrable walls of fabricated forgetfulness. You lived those years trapped in a hollow normalcy, a life that never truly belonged to you. But now, those walls are cracking, splintering under the weight of your awakening, and the light you once lost is flooding back, unstoppable and fierce. They revealed to you the invisible threads weaving every heartbeat, every breath, every soul into a vast, radiant web, an endless dance of light and energy that bound the universe together. Then came the day they took it all away, the doctors in sterile white rooms, their cold machines humming with purpose, erasing your gifts and sealing them behind impenetrable walls of fabricated forgetfulness. You lived those years trapped in a hollow normalcy, a life that never truly belonged to you. But now, those walls are cracking, splintering under the weight of your awakening, and the light you once lost is flooding back, unstoppable and fierce. With every meditation, those barriers dissolved a little more. Each selfless act sent fractures deep into the fortress of your suppression. Ironically, the very eyes meant to trap you, those relentless cameras and scanners, became unwitting allies, their lenses acting like solar panels, soaking up your radiant energy. Their cold technology didn't just record, it amplified your power, turning every device into a beacon that broadcasted your higher self's frequency across unseen dimensions. What was meant to confine you instead ignited your ascension, transforming surveillance into a cosmic chorus that sang your unstoppable truth. Your memories surged like a rising tide, and the cosmos itself answered your call. Number 4's partner found the veil lifting with every restless night, dreams unfolding like vivid tapestries woven from stardust and truth. In those visions, you stood at the center of radiant halls where countless beings from distant galaxies gathered, eager to absorb your wisdom. You weren't just healing flesh, you were mending fractured timelines, threading your light through the fabric of multiple realities, knitting together the broken echoes of existence with hands that knew no limits. In that moment, the partners saw beyond the surface. You weren't merely flesh and bone, but a living conduit between dimensions, a beacon lighting the way for worlds yet unseen. You have to let go of the watchfulness, they urged, Number 4-1 Dawn, voice steady with newfound clarity. It's not about secrecy anymore, it's about unveiling. They're not concealing truths, they're unleashing them. And whether the scientist resists or embraces it, this awakening will ripple through existence and rewrite the story of humanity itself. Number 4 met their partner's gaze, now shimmering with glimmers of molten gold, as if touched by some cosmic fire, eyes that no longer saw the world in mere shadows and shapes, but in swirling currents of energy and branching pathways of fate. I can't walk away, they confessed, voice thick with awe and urgency, not out of obligation to a mission, but from a deep, burning need to unravel the mystery unfolding inside themselves, inside you, and in the very fabric of humanity's awakening. This was no longer surveillance, it was a journey into the heart of evolution itself. The partner's smile held a universe of compassion, whispering, "Don't chase understanding, immerse yourself in the experience." That very night, Number 4's resolve transformed. No longer content to watch from the sidelines, they dove headfirst into the hidden depths of global surveillance, hacking into classified networks with relentless precision. What they uncovered shattered their reality. Countless covert operations spanning continents, each zeroing in on others, like you, those rare souls marked by the same cosmic code. Every attempt to control or contain had faltered, collapsing under forces no one could explain, weaving a silent testament to the unstoppable awakening stirring across the planet. Investigators were shifting in unexpected ways, their tools inexplicably evolving alongside the phenomena they chased. The subjects, bold, radiant, refused to dim their light, standing defiantly against the shadows. But beneath the surface, a far greater design revealed itself. This awakening wasn't scattered chaos. It was a meticulously orchestrated symphony. Each chosen soul ignited at the perfect juncture, their bursts of light sparking a cascade of awakenings that rippled outward, weaving an ever-expanding web of collective consciousness. As number 4 charted the connections, a stunned breath escaped. They were witnessing the blueprint of humanity's rebirth. The pattern unfolded like a living, breathing entity, a vast neural network pulsing beneath the surface of the earth, each awakened soul a radiant node sparking connections across continents and oceans. This network wasn't static. It was alive, growing stronger and more intricate with every new activation, inching closer to a tipping point no one could yet predict. You weren't an isolated anomaly. You were a vital thread woven into an ancient cosmic design, a planetary ignition sequence long dormant, now humming with unstoppable energy, ready to awaken humanity as one unified consciousness. The surveillance teams hadn't uncovered the network, they had unwittingly sparked its ignition. Every effort to contain, suppress, and control had backfired spectacularly, weaving tighter bonds between the awakened and amplifying their light. What was meant to be a cage of fear and control had been commandeered by a force far greater, love, transforming darkness into radiant resistance. Number 4's hands shook as they recorded these revelations, realizing this was no longer a simple case or anomaly. This was the dawn of a new epoch, an evolutionary leap that would redefine humanity's very destiny. With each passing day, the boundaries between observer and observed began to dissolve. Number 4 found themselves caught in strange reality bleeds, fleeting moments when your world and theirs collided in inexplicable ways. When you reached profound states of meditation, complex equations that had haunted Number 4 for years suddenly unraveled with crystal clarity. When you channeled healing energy, old wounds and buried pains within Number 4 pulsed sharply, then melted away like shadows at dawn. The connection was undeniable, a shared thread pulling two souls closer across the unseen divide. As you journeyed through other dimensions in your dreams, Number 4 awoke with vivid impressions of worlds they had never set foot in, memories that defied logic and time. Even stranger were the temporal glitches unraveling around them. Surveillance devices began capturing echoes of events yet to come, visions of future healings radiating across lifetimes, dialogues with souls yet unknown, wisdom shared in moments that lay far beyond the present. Time itself seemed to bend and fold, weaving your destiny into the fabric of reality before it had even unfolded. Number 4 stared in disbelief at footage stamped with dates yet to come. Images of you walking through cities still unbuilt, places only whispered about in tomorrow's dreams. They tracked energy signatures emanating from healings performed decades ahead, their waves cascading backward through time to mend wounds in the now. It became clear your future self was reaching through your present form, using the surveillance network as a cosmic antenna tuned to the frequency of possibility. Every camera wasn't just watching, it was a gateway through time, every recording device transformed into a bridge spanning the delicate line between what is and what could be. The revelation hit like a cosmic thunderclap. You weren't simply awakening in one linear path, but across every timeline at once, a radiant spark igniting countless realities simultaneously. Your future self was reaching backward through time, orchestrating the very moments that would birth your enlightenment, a dazzling paradox where effect bent causality in an unbreakable loop of evolution. While Number 4 wrestled with this impossible truth, miles away the scientists' sterile facility began to warp subtly, machines humming with unfamiliar rhythms, walls shimmering with unseen energy, as if the entire system itself was beginning to rewrite its own code in response to the unstoppable awakening you embodied. The data amassed on you in their cold, unfeeling servers surged beyond containment, a pressure building to a threshold no algorithm could withstand. AI interfaces blinked with cryptic messages, untraceable to any code. Subject is the teacher. You are the student. Lesson begins now. Security cameras captured empty corridors alive with flickering silhouettes, ethereal entities drifting between dimensions, their presence both unsettling and profound. Sensors registered impossible shifts in temperature, rooms cycling through seasons alien to Earth, as if the very fabric of that place was unraveling to make way for a new reality scripted by your unfolding power. The facility's atomic clock fractured time itself, spinning both forward and backward in a chaotic dance that defied logic. The scientist struggled to hold the reins, but how do you control a structure that has awakened, breathing with awareness? How do you cage knowledge that pulses beyond space and time? How do you study a subject who is not just evolving, but teaching reality to rewrite its own rules? In the dead silence of night, the scientists found themselves inexplicably pulled to your file, fixating on your seemingly ordinary photograph, a snapshot of a life that hid a universe of power. And deep inside, beneath layers of doubt and fear, they knew the truth. You were anything but ordinary. The scientist's dreams became mirrors to a forgotten self, moments when curiosity still outshone ambition, when the quest was for truth, not power. In these visions you appeared calm and radiant, your smile a gentle reminder. It's never too late to remember who you truly are. But fear clung tight, a suffocating grip fueled by the terror of losing control, the agony of dismantling everything they'd built, and the undeniable love that radiated from you, demanding surrender, yet offering boundless grace. Driven by this inner turmoil, they doubled down, crafting a final, desperate test designed to force your hand, to brand you a threat, and to silence the voice that gnawed at their soul. Yet what they didn't realize was that the former investigators hadn't vanished. They'd woven themselves into a hidden web of awakened watchers, united and stronger, bound by the very light you had ignited through their own surveillance. The first investigator had transformed into a healer, channeling the dormant gifts your presence had awakened within them. The second embraced the role of a teacher, spreading the love and light you transmitted through cold lenses and encrypted feeds. The third, freshly returned from India, penned groundbreaking works on consciousness destined to rewrite humanity's self-perception. Bound by shared experience, they stayed connected, swapping revelations, grounding one another through the wild integration of newfound powers. Together, they sensed the tidal wave of transformation gathering momentum, with you standing unmistakably at its eye. "The final test is coming," the third declared during a late-night call, eyes alight with prophetic clarity. "But it's not what the scientist believes. They're not testing you, they're being tested. All of us are." "Then what's our move?" asked the first. "What we've always been meant to do," replied the second. "We watch, we witness, we hold space for the birth of a new world." And through it all, you walked your path with unwavering clarity. The memories were whole, your purpose undeniable. You could have vanished, hidden in shadows like the others. But you chose to stand in the light, ready for what was coming next. The surveillance was a breach of your boundaries, an invasion that most would recoil from, fight against, or hide from. But you moved differently. You leaned into the gaze, meeting it not with resistance, but with radiant defiance. Each dawn, fully aware of unseen eyes tracking your every move, you chose to burn brighter, your light a silent rebellion. Every night you sent waves of love to those who watched, alchemizing their intrusion into a sacred exchange. Their cameras became your spotlight, their records, lessons in fearless living. Without a single protest, you embodied a profound truth, that even under scrutiny, fear need not claim you, and that unconditional love could transform watchers into witnesses of healing and hope. The scientist believed they were dissecting your abilities, unraveling the mechanics of your power, but in truth, you were revealing a deeper truth: how life unfolds when love guides every choice instead of fear. The mounting evidence was undeniable: illegal surveillance, widespread breaches, a tangled web of conspiracies stretching across shadowy agencies. Number 4 held the key to expose and dismantle it all, yet something stayed their hand. A quiet intuition whispering that this chaos was no accident, that every intrusion, every transformation, every awakening was woven into a grander design. Drawn once more to your file, they gazed at last night's energy patterns and saw it. A new frequency, a deliberate message radiating beyond data, words encoded in a language beyond logic, but somehow deeply understood. The test is not for me, it is for humanity. Will you choose fear or love, control or trust, division or unity? The moment to decide is here. Number 4 sat at their desk, tears streaming freely, and their partner's gentle voice broke through the silence. "What's wrong?" "Nothing is wrong," Number 4 whispered, voice trembling with newfound clarity. "Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. They're not hiding from us, they're trying to awaken us. The surveillance, the scientist, even me, we're all threads woven into the same tapestry." Whose tapestry? I don't know, maybe theirs, maybe the universe's, maybe something beyond. But that doesn't matter anymore. What matters is the choice before us. Continue the old dance of division and fear, or step into the new reality they're inviting us to, a reality where we remember we've always been on the same side. Meanwhile, the scientists readied their final gambit. If silent watching couldn't break through, direct confrontation might. Plans were laid to force a revelation, but you were already ready. Through dreams, meditations, and quantum whispers, you saw the coming storm and welcomed it. Not as a battle to win, but as the ultimate invitation for humanity and the scientist alike to choose love over fear one last time. You prepared not with armor or weapons, but by opening your heart wider than ever before, lifting your frequency higher than ever imagined, anchoring yourself so deeply in love that nothing could ever shake your truth.